Welcome back to the Football Out West show, and we've got him. We've got the man of the moment, the president of the Caroline Springs, George Cross. He's joining us, Mark Sultana. A very, very warm welcome to you. And how are you? How's things with you?
Yeah, good. Everything's going well at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, Steve, before we go on, we talked about the birthday boy, Craig Filer. He's had to step away
Yes.
briefly. Yes, he's probably celebrating, continuing his celebrations.
He's recovering with that hangover.
But we've had some more birthdays. In fact, we've had a double birthday celebration at George Cross during the week. A happy birthday, Mark, to yourself and to the general manager, the lovely Lisa Jurich. Both of you celebrated your birthdays this weekend. For all of us here at the Football Out West show, congratulations and happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was busy at the club. Had a board meeting on my birthday, so I had to keep that going. And yeah, no, it was good. No, 54 years old, so close to 55 now. Closer to 60, they say.
Did you hit that cocktail menu that was mentioned on the previous advertisement that would take many times to actually get through many visits?
Yeah. I say that when we have a double header with the senior men's winning and then the senior women's winning. I sort of probably had a little bit too much to drink that night, but it's all going well. It's still enjoyable, which is the main thing. So great to be seeing everyone playing football again, and not only from seniors but senior women's and then juniors. So touch wood, winter doesn't change too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we find ourselves in the early throes of the season, I suppose, for 2022, Mark. What are the objectives for the club this season?
Oh, look, I think everyone knows we want to get promoted. So, the idea is that we continue on from last year. Obviously, we finished on the top. So, it is to continue with that path to striving for MPL 3, and then obviously then sitting down with the board and assessing, from where and how, and sort of work out that. From the juniors, obviously well known that we employ John Flores, the TD, and he's had 3 games today that were vying for Div 1. Unfortunately, we only got one team go to Div 1, but the others were in Div 2, which is great. So a huge improvement from last year, which is good to see that what we are striving to do is working. And then you've got our women's senior squad who's still alive in the Night Cup, and that's just an enormous thing for that group of girls and women. I've got to tell you, it's so rewarding. There probably wasn't a lot of enthusiasm from the early days, I've got to say, but we made some changes. Albeit it's always difficult to make those changes, but it seems that we've had a huge buy-in, and the girls are really enjoying themselves, and the whole club's enjoying it as well, which is great. So
always adds another. 15... Sorry, Matt, I was going to say, always adds another dimension to the club, having the women's and doing them so successfully. That's fantastic. We will be speaking with Steph from the women's team a little later on, so really looking forward to talking about that. And just quickly now, Wednesday night, the Nike FC Cup, that's against Doveton, and that will be at George Cross Football Club, won't it?
Yeah, no, we'll have we're hosting that game at the Party House, we call it. We have a good time at George Cross. We do make it enjoyable, and we were privileged enough. Their ground wasn't quite ready, I believe, so Lisa was able to acquire that game for our team to be playing at home, which is sensational, really, and they deserve it. Actually, it's like I said, it's a really, really good story so far for this team, and testament to everybody that's been involved. So huge congratulations to them.
And how do you see the senior women's team going this year in the league, I suppose, as well as the Nike FC Cup success that they've already been enjoying?
I think their first time they really believe in themselves, to be quite honest. I honestly think that they can do really, really well. I think, obviously we're working through, getting them fit and really wanting to be that representative for our senior women. I think they've understood that they're actually capable of achieving, and I think that's the most important part. There's always there's an imbalance slightly with men's seniors and so forth and things like that. But as club, we'll grow and we'll work how to to find that balance and how we can really promote them. It would be really nice to be able to have a double header. I think that worked really well when we hosted, when we played, the men's played, and then the women played their night cup. I mean, there was probably a good, 200-300 people stayed on and watched it and really gave them a raging, raging support. So that's great.
That's awesome. Mark, now it's a big year for the club, 75th anniversary this year. At the first home game of the season, which was almost 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago, was the President's Luncheon. So it was a big function there, brought out a lot of club supporters, and not just internal club supporters, but a lot of external club supporters, members of the local council, etc. Tell us a bit more about that, because that really pretty much starts the 75th anniversary celebrations, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And look, we brought 3 players out from previous successful teams, and they were just in awe of the venue and the facility. You can see that the Australia Cup is behind there. I mean, that's our, a trophy that they, love and cherish. But look, again, you sort of take a look back at where we were, and I was at a function today to celebrate Eddie's life, and so many people are invested in, really having the ability to obviously celebrate our 75th year. I think the club deserves it. I think initially, I think what we've got to say is a huge thank you to all previous boards and presidents for keeping the club alive, for us to have the ability to celebrate our 75th year. I think that is undermentioned. They don't mention it enough for the respect of all the previous boards and presidents behind us. But the fact that we're in a place where we're obviously trying to strive to set the bar quite high for all clubs. Being a 75th year, winning 4 games on the trot, under 15s making NPL Division 1, all the other teams Div 2, women's in the night cup. I don't know where I think everyone deserves a huge pat on the back for the hard work that everyone's putting in, and if we can celebrate that on our 75th year, I think generally for us to strive for promotion would be a real good celebration, not only for the 75th year, but for the club to, rebirth itself as a powerhouse football club. So that's what we're striving to do.
And Mark, how's the relationship going with the Western United Football Club? Obviously, the NPL 3 boys are playing their matches there on usually on Sunday afternoons. Are they drawing a bit of a crowd in as a club? Are both clubs getting benefit out of this?
Yeah, they are. I think it's a great marriage again. I think the fact that we're not the training venue for them, I think that's worked well for them. Obviously, the results are showing that. I think that the NPL boys love playing there, and they feel it does feel like they're at home. And it also gives a point of destination for their fans, and I think that's important as well. So, yeah, I think both Chris and I and everybody involved would be quite happy with the relationship and what it's been able to do for, again, NPL football in the West.
Now, the one thing that everyone can say about the Caroline Springs George Cross Football Club and George's on Vista is that it's welcoming of absolutely everyone, and it's become a real community centre stage. But what I'm glad to see, mate, is, to be honest, is in its 75th year, is a return to the roots and really, celebrating the Maltese heritage. And look, we at the recent one, we had the Maltese, was it the brass band that performed?
Yeah,
there?
That's correct. Yep, absolutely.
You've had you've had a Maltese school that's been created there at Georgie's, as well as an open celebration of the Maltese, like, let's say, the appetizers, the influence of the food as well. And as someone who's proudly Croatian and certainly love my background, I think it's great that you are celebrating your thing, because I think, to me, especially in the NPL, Steve, I'm not sure how you feel about this, but that cosmopolitan, that kaleidoscope of cultures that we have in Victoria, I think is absolutely brilliant. We saw that with Preston the other week, doing the same, celebrating. I look forward to going to these Greek clubs to taste the souvlakis. Mate, Josh Parrish from FNR, he used to do a food safari. But that, mate, I think you really ought to be congratulated as a club for doing that and really celebrating your cultural background as well.
No, thank you. And look, it's a really important part of our football club. I mean,
absolutely.
We believe that we want everybody to enjoy themselves. We need to capture everybody. And I think, even the non-Maltese people are enjoying the brass band. So we alternate that.
Great.
There are two. Yeah, they're two different bands. We alternate between the two of them, and that again, out of respect for both bands that represent the Maltese community, we're just trying things differently. Pump the music and enjoy the night and sing Sweet Caroline at the end of each game because we're still winning.
Oh, that's the best
Good
way to do
stuff.
it. Do it in style. Yeah.
You've got to have that song for the party house. Steve, any last questions for our guests tonight?
Any new upgrades or anything happening around the facility-wise? I know we're nearly out of time. We've got to get George to come on. But any new improvements or anything to look forward to on our next visit there?
Oh, look, we're just in discussions with council about a few things. Obviously, we hosted Melbourne Victory and Sydney FC from a Women's A-League point of view, so that's something we're looking at to try and maybe bring that to the club in some manner. Look, no, not really. Other than that, we're just we've settled down and just trying to keep everything, as it is, fly under the radar a little bit and just get this job done. It's a huge thank you to all the, the sponsors and supporters. I think everyone can see that as a club we're starting to grow, and I think that's the important part. And like I said, you can't say more about the teams that are behind each part of this football club. So other than that, we're at the moment we're in a good place and hope to be able to stay there for a long time. So again, it's a huge thank you from myself and the board for everything that everyone does. And you know what? You've got two good people coming on now that's following me, and honestly, you'll have a great time. And like I said, they're both are equally as important to all of us at George Cross. So it's a huge thank you from all of us.
Awesome. We look forward to chatting with George TSIAKALAKIS from the senior men's team and Stephanie GRECH from the senior women's team, both the team captains. Mark, thank you very much once again. Happy birthday. Happy Easter to you and everyone down at George Cross.
Yes, absolutely.
And, we once again thank you for your ongoing support collectively, the whole club, in 2022 and wish you all the best.
No, enjoy it immensely, guys. Doing a great job. And like I said, come and have fun at George Cross, everyone. It's a great place. Thank you.
Absolutely. Good on you. Don't
Thanks,
go away,
Mark.
folks.
All the best.
We'll be back with
Thank
George TSIAKALAKIS from the senior men's team.
George's on Vista is in the heart of Fraser Rise. You'll find us at Caroline Springs, George Cross. Looking for a bit of fun with your meals? Tuesday night is bingo night. Bingo books are $2, eyes down at $7. And we have a special bingo menu for you to choose from, so be sure to get in early and grab a bite to eat beforehand. Friday night is poker night. Registration is from 6:30 p.m, with poker starting at 7:30 p.m. Why not join us beforehand for happy hour? Kicks off at 5:30. We're also on Uber Eats, so you can enjoy your favourite Georgie's meals in the comfort of your own home. Find us on the app. Dining in? Be sure to book your table to avoid disappointment. Bookings can be made via our website, georgiesonvista.com.au.
Good evening and welcome back to the Football Out West show. It's episode 86, and tonight it is a specially themed George Cross Football Club episode. Joining us now is the captain of the senior men's team, George TSIAKALAKIS. I hope I said that right. George, how are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Tonch, for having me.
Absolute pleasure, mate.
Welcome.
It's been a ripper start to the season so far in State League One for the men's team. Sitting pretty there at the top of the ladder, everything going good. Let's go through yesterday's game. How did you see that?
It was definitely a tough game and a big game for us. Probably our biggest game of the year. We had an opportunity to make it a 6-point game and get some real points ahead of probably one of our main competitors for the year. And I think the boys kind of dug deep, as we did against Strathmore, didn't give up. And it's a testament to the culture we got in the group of wanting to win and doing it at all costs. So I'm really proud of the boys, and I know the club is really proud of the boys for the effort they're putting in.
Now, George, playing at Caroline Springs, George Cross, a very aspirational club, looking for that promotion, looking to go as high as they can, play at the highest level, excellent facilities, very professionally run, and a proud heritage. What does it mean to you to get the armband to be chosen as the player to captain the senior men's side at the club there?
It's definitely an honour, and it's something I don't take lightheartedly. I know it's more than just being a leader in the team. It's about being there throughout the club and interacting with our fans, our juniors, our committee, and kind of helping Eric drive the ship in the right direction. So it's definitely something I think I understand and can help the club achieve its goals. So it's a massive honour, and every time I even just get to be at the club, I'm there happy, and I'm not playing at the moment. I'm still happy to see the boys succeed and achieve our goal of winning the league.
What is that? You injured at the moment, or?
Yeah, dislocated my shoulder in the first round. So
first one.
I've been a spectator. And
that
our
was
vice captain,
yeah,
newly appointed John's been he's stepped up and done really, really well.
When does the powers that be, I guess, expect you to be back? The doctors or the medical staff? What are they saying?
I think another 4 weeks, and then we've got a lot of depth in the squad at the moment. So whatever the football gods choose, and whatever keeps the winning team on the park, then it's the luck of the draw.
Hopefully, not too much depth, so that doesn't force you out of the.
Have to come back through the twos.
Yeah.
George, how are you coping with being out of the team injured? Obviously, you're very frustrating doing all pre-season and everything, getting injured in round one, like not what you want to happen, obviously. Yeah. What are you doing on match days, and how are you getting around to support the team?
Just kind of trying to help our kind of support staff, Pete and Phil. What do they need? Just the little things, and then just speaking to a few of the boys. Just kind of giving them direction, a bit of knowledge on teams we played in the past, their key players. Eric and Theo are pretty across how we want to play, and they work on it at training. So the boys are really, really across that. It's more just the little things of, as I said, good plays for the other team, how it looks from the side at halftime. Are we sitting a bit deep or sitting a bit high? And kind of just bounce back what the boys are feeling on the field.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Look, mate, you started well. Round 1, 5-1 victory against Yarraville. That was away. Then we had 2 home games against Essendon Royals, 2-1 win, and then Strathmore split 2-1 win, and that was a tough one with goals coming late in the game. And then on the weekend, another 2-1 win away to Sydenham Park. So 2 real tough teams, Sydenham Park and Essendon Royals, in the sense both are expected to figure prominently for the fight for promotion. This week, a big game. You've got the Maltese Derby. This is happening this Saturday at Caroline Springs. Kickoff there is at 5:30 p.m. Another tough game. Expecting, with these derby games, the sort of form will go out the window, or I mean, they're sitting pretty in second spot at the moment, so they're obviously going to be a tough team in that regard. But what about being a normal Maltese derby? Does the intensity go up a little bit of a notch?
Yeah, I definitely know our group enjoy the occasion. We've got a lot of boys that the big games they definitely want to get up for. We failed at our first big game against Essendon in the FA Cup, and Mark definitely let us know. But coming back against them in the season, we had everybody up and about. I think that was our best game for the year. We outplayed them, and we didn't look like losing. Sydenham, all the boys were up and about. We probably didn't play the best game we could have, but we were hungry. And coming into another Maltese derby, it's just, I know Mark's going to be in the boys' ears in the change room. Pete, everyone at the club can help us raise the occasion, raise the stakes. And I think Eric does a real good way of motivating us before the game to get us up and about.
Yeah, and the form on the field so far suggests that you're really in a really good position to get a good result in that game on Saturday. But how much of that is put down to what's happening during the week and the hard work at training? And how is the mood among the group on the training paddock each week?
Well, I think the mood is good. Once you start the season, you got 20 players that want to be starting. The intensity raises, and then we've got a couple injuries that might help the coaches out now in squad selection, but everyone's coming back and getting fit. And I know their choice is getting harder of who they're going to play, but then again, it just raises our intensity on the park and our endeavour to make that starting 11 and then be an impact off the bench. And for instance, AJ came off the bench on the weekend and was a ripper for us. He won a penalty for us, but last week it was Jay off the bench who had the impact. So it's just real competitive, and I think that's what drives success.
Well, my next question was going to be, if you know what the score of today's game was between Whittlesea United and Brimbank Stallions. But Brenton Ray, our man on the spot, he's come through with the goods in the comment section. It was a 1-0 win to Brimbank Stallions. So Brimbank now jump into second spot. So they're on 10 points. And lo and behold, after the Altona City game this week, then you've got Brimbank Stallions. That's going to be at home. So 2 important games at home. That's on Saturday, April the 23rd and a 5 p.m. kickoff. So, mate, the next 2 weeks are going to be very, very well, almost, we won't say season defining. No, it's still early. But it's going to be very, very important, almost very decisive, isn't it? So, no need to motivate the boys with 2 such important games coming up. Is that right?
Yeah, everyone knows that these next 2 rounds are pretty big in setting us up for the season. And we knew our first 6 rounds of the year were going to be defining for us. We played, 4 of our main competitors that are sitting at the top of the table in our first 6 rounds. Yeah. So we got it drummed into us pretty early how important it is to start early or to start well early. And I think we've done a perfect job of it at the moment.
Awesome. Well, I think, mate, we're going to wish you all the very best. We've got Steph in the green room itching to come on, and we are running a little bit behind time. But, mate, all the very, very best for not only the next 2 weeks, but indeed the season coming. Obviously, a lot at stake. Promotion to the NPL 3 next year. But, yeah, wishing you all the best. And to you personally, wishing you a speedy recovery, and hopefully we'll see you out on the park very, very soon, George.
Thank you. I really appreciate for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks, George. All the best, mate.
Yeah, folks, don't go away. We'll be back very, very shortly with the captain of the George Cross women's team, Stephanie GRECH. Welcome back to the Football Out West show. It is episode 86, and extra time tonight is all about Caroline Springs, George Cross. And we've got our next guest tonight is the captain of the senior women's team, Stephanie GRECH. Steph, how are you? And welcome to the Football Out West show.
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on the show, Steph. Now we're going to launch right into the Nike FC Cup because that's what's got us excited at the moment. How are you feeling about that upcoming clash that you've got coming up in the round 5 game, which is impressive to get all the way through to round 5 already, and playing against Doveton? And they like City Vista so much they're deciding to play their home game at your ground in that particular tie.
Yeah, like the whole team, we're pretty excited, especially that it's a home game. Due to the ground issues at Doveton, but yeah, really fortunate that we get to play at another home game, another home Nike FC Cup game at home. So yeah, our team's really excited, and we're just ready for another challenge.
It's been a brilliant run. It started off, I guess, shakily with a 3-0 forfeit win over Brimbank Stallions. So it's the first game of the season. You're itching to play, and then you get the news that it's a forfeit. But subsequently, you had 3 great wins. So against Greenvale United, 4-2 a win. Against Lara United, 3-0 win, and against Monash University, also a 3-0 win. Do you know much about Doveton? Do you know much about your opponents for Wednesday night?
To be honest, not really. I think both teams are probably coming in a bit blind on how we both play. And I think we're just ready for the challenge. But we're just ready to take them on, but don't know too much about them. We never really faced them, to be honest.
Well, I guess all will be revealed when the match kicks off on Wednesday at 8 p.m. at City Vista. Now, let's talk about yourself as a player within the team, Steph. What's your role been so far for the team this year, and how are you fitting into the squad?
So predominantly been playing as a centre back and helping the team sort of control from the back line, as you get to see everything from the back there, but also get to play as a centre mid. So just trying to get those balls flying in and go centre attack, and just trying to get the girls to believe themselves, which Dylan has been driving for the whole team. And I think that's what's really helped us get so far in the Night Cup so far, because it's definitely a challenge. But just really getting the girls to just believe in each other. And, every game we try to get a win, and we have each other's back no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Confidence is a big thing, obviously, going into the start of the season, and obviously the Nike FC Cup, the many triumphs there so far. That's probably been one of the things that's helped your confidence building. But we've also seen there's a team photo there that we just had before, and that was, I think, taken at the recent presentation. Balloons, a lot of smiley faces. Talk to us about the mood inside the dressing room. Do you all get along like a really good unit? Are there leaders there who are probably more, take some of the younger players under their wing? Well, just explain to us what's it like in the Caroline Springs George Cross dressing rooms at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. The environment is very positive. Every single game, we're always excited to just play, and you can tell the girls are fired up right before the whistle. They're just ready to play and take on the challenge. Especially, we've got the two vice captains beside me, so Liv and Danny. And Danny's one of the more experienced players and who I still look up to. And she definitely takes the younger players under her wing, including myself, because I'm still quite young compared to a couple others. But they just try to get the nerves down. And I think Danny's experience in the team, as well as Cara, who's had lots of experience in football, being able to just calm each other down and, have the faith that eventually we will, get a win.
Now, Mark says that you're a great leader of the team there, Steph. I asked this question to George as well, I suppose, a little bit earlier. Like, what does it mean to you to run out in the Georgie's shirt each week of such a famous club? And not only that, but wear the captain's armband. Is that something that you just thrive under, or does it feel like a burden sometimes, or is it just a good feeling?
Definitely not a burden. I'm so grateful to be given the opportunity to captain this amazing team. So grateful. The girls are just such a good bunch, and I'm so proud of them. Every training session, every game, they put their heart on the line for the club, for their family, for their friends, and it just means a lot. Having some family history at the club as well, just love playing for it.
Tell us about the family history, the connection to the club.
So my nunnu was part of the club a while ago, God bless him, and my uncle's still heavily involved. I'm sure lots of people know him, and my dad's still involved as well. So just carrying on the GRECH tradition at Georgie's, so it's quite good.
And does that sort of add to the pressure? Does Dad and your uncle sort of, start coming along to games and start, come on, Steph, you could have done better, you should have done better, that sort of stuff? Or are they generally very, very positive in their assessment of the way you've played?
Oh, I'm definitely quite lucky. They're generally quite positive. My uncle always gives me a few words of wisdom for the game, and so does my dad, and they're always just really encouraging. I'm just glad to have them around and watch me play, especially at home. It's just such a great atmosphere. Absolutely.
Yeah, now we've talked about the Nike FC Cup amongst other things. What about the home and away season this year? How is that looking like, shaping up as being something that will be successful for the team? Obviously, a great group of young players. Do you think you can maybe go all the way?
Oh, 100%. I have full faith in the girls that we can definitely go all the way. Obviously, there's going to be challenges ahead of us, and we're still building, still growing as a team, and just getting to know how we still play, I guess, along. And I think that's what the Night Cup has really been good for. We've been able to have really some tough challenges, and we can grow together. Not too sure who we're going to really come up against in our league. Nothing has been released yet. So
I was going to ask who the main rivals are going to be, and we don't know.
Yeah, no idea. So definitely.
Do you know when you find out? At least, like, are you in State League 3 this year, or you don't know yet?
Nothing's confirmed as yet. I'd assume we'll be in State League 3, but I guess depending how we go with the Nike FC Cup, they might even consider State League 2. But I guess you just never know. And we're just going to prepare for whatever's ahead of us.
Well, fingers crossed that we can find out exactly that, because the season's meant to start in a couple of weeks' time. So, goodness me. But in the meantime, Wednesday night, we talked about, Steve, two big games coming up for the senior men's, and they're both at home. But probably the biggest of the trio is this one on Wednesday night. All calling out to all the George Cross fans out there, and indeed football fans in general out in the West. Come down to Georgie's Caroline Springs there at City Vista. It's 8 p.m. kickoff. The big Nike FC Cup Round 5 clash between Doveton Soccer Club and Caroline Springs George Cross. We're secretly hoping we'll get 1,000 people there. Why not? Midweek, next day's Holy Thursday. A lot of people have already... School holidays now, by the way. Parents, bring your kids along. They can stay up till midnight. Doesn't matter.
Actually, I wanted to ask Steph about that, playing in front of perhaps bigger crowds than some of your other rival clubs. How does that feel? And also knowing that, given your background, you've got like a lot of friends and family there watching on too, but just amongst a very large crowd of people at a fantastic venue. How does that feel?
Oh, I still think about the last Nike FC Cup game at home. It was such a great atmosphere, and just having everyone there supporting you. We've had all the junior girls supporting us, yelling, cheering. It was just really nice to get their support and, be those role models for the girls. And so it's been really good, and I can't wait for Wednesday night. I'm sure it'll be another great night for us.
Have a look at that post on the screen. This was posted earlier today on the official Caroline Springs George Cross Facebook page. And I'll read it. A culture in big letters. Now, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, they say a picture says 1,000 words, and it does indeed. Look at that picture there. But there's the post. Something we are very proud of at our club, having our youngsters support the older girls during matches and creating that bond and relationship between our juniors and seniors is what we're all about. It's amazing to see the bigger girls perform and show what great role models they are for the younger ones. You're the captain of the team. Kudos to you and your ladies there. But having that sort of, there's young girls as young as 5, 6, 7 that look up to your team, and they look at you guys as role models. They don't need to worry about the senior men or whatever. They don't need to worry about the Socceroos. They've got their legends, and that's the senior women's team, and that is awesome to see.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so glad that we can be role models for the team, and especially with all the wins we've had so far. They've had something to be excited about and something to look forward to in their future when they get to play senior football. So, 100% agree.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Steph. Steve, have you got any last questions for our guest tonight?
Look, I think we're all out of time for this one, but all the best for Wednesday night, Steph, and get the 3 not the 3 points, get the win, get into the hat for the next round. And there's some big clubs you could be coming up against in the next round. And wouldn't it be good if you could draw a home tie against one of the top clubs in Victoria and maybe even knock them off as well and keep that cup run going? So all the best to you and the team on Wednesday night.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it heaps.